It's time to retain our attention now to the historic Formula Ford 1600 race. It's Ben Mitchell and Ben Sims in the front row, second row Simon Toyner and David Ward, third row is Jamie Brayshaw and Ian Ashley. So the cars head down to Paddock Hill Bend for the first time and it's side by side for the lead. It's a good start from Ben Sims, he goes round the outside of Ben Mitchell to take the lead to the races. Yes, the high, wide and handsome line works for Paddock Hill Bend and the two Bens already getting away. Is that David Wild who's got third position? Simon Toyner after having the crash in the Formula Ford 2000 race where the Rogue the roll bar broke, but luckily enough the car landed on four wheels, so he's okay, and he's running fourth position in this one, I think. Then is it Jamie Brayshaw that runs in fifth? It's actually Ian Ashley that runs in fifth, and then in sixth position is the car in the hands of Stuart Baird. So the top two absolutely together as they made their way around Clark Curve for the first time. So in the slipstream is Ben Mitchell, I think. Is it still Mitchell behind? And he comes to the outside. And Ben Sims continues to lead, but Ben Mitchell carrying a lot of speed through Paddock Hill Bend. He tries to get the cutback as they come up the hill, but the two cars are together. And in third position, it is still David Wild. But here, we've had a change then. Ben Mitchell's got ahead of Ben Sims. He got Wild in third, fourth is Toy. Looks like Stuart Baird there in fifth ahead of Ian Ashley, who's running in sixth position. The cars head down the Cooper Straight for the second time in this 15-minute race. The two Bens together then. It's Ben Mitchell leading in the Merlin Mark 20 ahead of the Lexus Mark 14 in the hands of Ben Sims. Then in third position is David Wild, the series sponsor, the HSCC Grandstand Historic Formula 4 Championship. So top two together again in the slipstream. This time it's Ben Sims. So is he going to do the same thing as Ben Mitchell did? Well, let's find out. He comes to the outside, but Ben Mitchell's very late on the brakes and actually pulling away, but he runs out wide. So here comes Ben Sims now on the exit of the corner. He dives to the inside line as they go down up to Drury's Hairpin. And has he got through? The cars are side by side. It's taking a bit longer than Ben Mitchell did to take the lead, and Mitchell's actually kept the lead. So Ben Sims not being able to replicate the move that Ben Mitchell did on him just a couple of laps to go. But he's going to go for 30s on the inside at 30s, and he doesn't quite brave out that move. That would have been a fantastic move if he could make it stick, but he couldn't. So he's going to go for the slipstream down the Brabham Straight on this third lap of the historic Formula Ford 1600 race. So he's in the slipstream now and behind David Wild under pressure from Simon Toyne. We have to work out what's going on in that one as well, but this time Ben Sims dives to the inside of Paddock when Ben Mitchell perhaps not expecting it, and into the lead goes Ben Sims, and he runs that wide and Mitchell's going to get him back on the exit. Looks like David Wild's got third, so Mitchell back into the lead. He looks to going into Paddock Hill, but he's got it back. And actually Wild has lost third position to Simon Toyne, and a big sideways moment for Ben Mitchell on the exit of the Druids Hairpin. The two cars are absolutely together as they head through Graham Hill Bend and down the Cooper Straight now for the fourth time into Surtees they turn. Then the battle for third behind between Simon Toyne and David Wild. The top two then, Ben Mitchell and Ben Sims are up their way around clearways, and at this point of the race it does seem that Ben Mitchell has the upper hand, because whenever Ben Sims is in the lead he seems to easily find a way past. But Ben Sims is going to the slipstream, and this time Ben Mitchell's not going to let him dive on the inside. He's going to make him go on the wide line, and Ben Mitchell's going to continue to lead as they head through Paddock Hill, but he mustn't run out wide, and he has. And that way will give Ben Sims again the move up on the inside line into the Druids Hairpin. And they turn through Druids, and Ben Mitchell still leads. So Ben Sims could find a way through, but Graham Hill Bend's going to be his next opportunity. It's not. Third is still Simon Toyne. Fourth is David Wild. I couldn't tell if it was Stuart Baird in fifth or if it was Ian Ashley, but we go side by side as Ben Sims dives up on the inside of Ben Mitchell as they head into Surtees. But Mitchell continues to lead now as they head into Clearways for the fifth time. The battle for third are together as well. That's Simon Toyne just ahead of David Wild. Down out of Clark Curve, looking at the pit boards. It seems actually the top two are the only teams that seem to have pit boards. As Ben Sims dives to the inside again for Paddock Hill Bend. Ben Mitchell ultra late on the brakes. Is he going to be able to get it turned through Paddock Hill Bend? He is. So he has actually pulled out a lead there. Then Simon Toyne and David Wild together. Then Ian Ashley's ahead of Stuart Baird in the battle for fifth. On the inside of comes David Wild to try and get third position through the Druids hairpin, and it's still Simon Toyne ahead of David Wild. They head down Graham Hill into Graham Hill Bend now. In 5th is Ian Ashley, just ahead of Stuart Baird. So through Graham Hill Bend comes this battle for 3rd position, which sees just in front still the car of Simon Toyne ahead of David Wild. Simon Toyne in the Lola T200 as they turn now up to Clearways. That's where the leaders are, and the leaders actually already out of Clark Curve. You still can see there 5th is Ian Ashley ahead of Stuart Baird. Leaders are crossing the line. Mitchell still ahead of Sims in the battle of the lead and the battle of the bends. But can David Wild here get up on the inside for 3rd position? He can late on the break. David Wild gets 3rd position. Is he going to be able to keep it tight enough? Because Simon Toyne's trying to come through here. The inside line for the Druids hairpin. Let's see what happens here. And it's David Wild still ahead, so he made that move work. Ian Ashley there in 5th. 6th is Stuart Baird, and then I think it's Patrick Kivett in 2nd position. Within 8th is Brian Morris. That's 2 leaders. Is the leaders back? Yes, so the leaders. No, that was about 3rd, didn't it? That turned through 13th because our leaders made their way around Clark Curve for the 7th time. Is it? Yes, it's cost up in 52 seconds, so that'll be quick. And they're already into the back markers. It's up on the inside comes Ben Sims, but Ben Mitchell just about holds it in the lead as they have to get right their way through the traffic now. Up the inside line, that's going to probably prevent Ben Sims from making a move on the inside line for the Druids hairpin, and it has, but Ben Mitchell perhaps drifted a bit wide. No, it seems okay. Ben Sims following his wheel track down into Graham Hill Bend. The 2 leaders turn through Graham Hill Bend. They head down the Cooper Straight into Surtees for the 8th time of Austin now. And up to Clearways then. The 2 cars line astern as they turn through Clearways onto Clark Curve. In the slipstream is Ben Sims. And they come now onto the bumper straight. Around the outside of Ben Sims as Ben Mitchell slows. Ben Sims just about avoided him there. There seems to be a problem with Ben Mitchell's car. That's going to give Ben Sims the race lead, and it looks to be perhaps an easy victory now because Ben Mitchell has slowed. He heads into Particle Bend. The engine not sounding right. So now the battle of a 2nd is between David Wild and Simon Toyne. The battle of a 4th is now between Ian Ashley and Stuart Baird, or it will be once they make their way past Ben Mitchell. Ben Sims all by himself goes down Graham Hill. Ben Mitchell still in 2nd. That's helping lead the habit. David Wild passes him now. Wild into 2nd, and then Toyne follows him through into 3rd. Now the best battle in 2nd will become for 4th as soon as they go their way down the Cooper Straight. That will be between Ian Ashley and Stuart Baird. They pass Ben Mitchell now. Ben Mitchell will probably pull over here into the pit lane. So the battle for 4th make their way around Clearways, running really wide there. It's Stuart Baird. I don't think there's a problem with the car at this point. James Buxton's out the race, as is Ben Mitchell. We've got 24 cars running now in the HSCC Grandstand Historic Formula 4 Championship here around the Brands Hatch Indy Circuit. The race is being led by Ben Sims as Ben Mitchell's in the pit lane.